MSNBC is already trying to pawn off blame for a potential Biden loss. They're laying the groundwork in case it happens. And you will not be surprised at all to see who's first in line to get blamed.
Steph, if I was Joe Biden and I wanted to win the state of Florida, I would not be taking Bernie Sanders' advice. Bernie Sanders is the reason why the socialist label has stuck for some voters on Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders is the reason why a lot of South Florida Hispanics in particular are afraid that the Democratic Party has moved too far to the left, why they're susceptible to this messaging from the Trump campaign that they should fear the Democratic Party. That's why Joe Biden has to reintroduce himself and tell these voters, I am a deal maker. I spent decades in the Senate trying to bring Republicans and Democrats together. I was the guy Barack Obama would send to negotiate with Mitch McConnell. I want to bring this country together. I am not a radical, and nothing in my record indicates that. That's the message that a lot of these Latino voters, people who understandably are concerned with all this talk about socialism, because they left their countries fleeing those ideas and fleeing those kinds of revolutions. So they need to hear from Joe Biden. They need to know who he is. And when it comes to South Florida Hispanics, at least, if I was Joe Biden, I would not be taking Senator Sanders' advice.
So it's Bernie's fault that Biden is struggling with Latinos. That's interesting, because I seem to remember this. Biden campaign doesn't consider Latinos part of their path to victory, political operatives say. They made a concerted effort to reach out to suburbia and older voters. Those are the demographics they were gunning for. You reap what you sow. So now, struggling with Latinos, like, oh, Bernie, it's Bernie's fault. I think it's Bernie's fault. How on earth is it Bernie's fault? He did really well with Latinos. Really well with them. In fact, he crushed everybody in sight with Latinos. So somehow, don't embrace the ideology of the guy who's popular with Latinos, because Latinos won't like that. Come again? I hate this. I hate this. Everything is square peg, round hole in mainstream media. Everything. No matter what the question is, no matter what the conversation is, isn't the left really bad? Isn't Bernie Sanders terrible? Man, these ideas are radical. They call it radical. None of them ever give you the facts or the polling data on these ideas, on these policies. Medicare for all is insanely popular. Free college is insanely popular. A living wage is insanely popular. Ending the wars is insanely popular. All these ideas are super popular. But radical. It's so radical to do exactly what people want you to do. So radical. No, it's not. It's the opposite of radical. It would be mainstream. It'd be the definition of mainstream. It's what people want. I give up, guys. I give up. You know, stands to reason that if Biden did exactly what Bernie did with the Latino community, reach out to Chuck Rocha, however you say his name, who was the Latino outreach director for Bernie's campaign. Reach out to him, and he'll tell you what to do. My guess is you got to go talk directly to the Latino community, and you got to talk directly to their material interest. Hey, you don't have health care. I'm going to get you health care. This is politics. Go talk directly to people, see what they want, and then incorporate that and say, this is what I'm going to fight for. But no, it's right. It's blame Bernie. Blame Bernie. Somehow blame Bernie. Blame Bernie. And by the way, the idea, specifically to, the Cuban population in Florida. Have you ever considered that maybe if you pander specifically to the Cuban population in Florida, that alienates Latinos around the rest of the country? Have you considered that? Because I got news for you. Yes, the Latino population, or I should say the Cuban population in Florida, is the most conservative population, one of the most conservative populations in the country. It's like old white people and then Cubans in Florida. So if you do things to reach out to them, that will alienate the larger voter demographic, which you need around the rest of the country. But this doesn't occur to them. It's always the same. Socialism bad, Bernie bad, Biden needs to stress his moderate record. He's been doing that nonstop. Nobody doesn't know that Biden is moderate. Even the Republicans who pretend like he's an extremist deep down know that he's a corporate Democrat, that he's a moderate Republican, effectively. Like, I love how this guy thinks, I got a brilliant idea. What if Biden told people about his record? Okay, if he actually got into the specifics of his record, nobody would like him. Patriot Act, which approved NSA spying on all of us. The Iraq War, which is massively, colossally disliked. The outsourcing deals that he signed on for. I mean, the list goes on and on. Don't talk about your record. But listen, he's lucky in the sense that he's the beneficiary of such a terrible incumbent president that he really doesn't have to do anything, and he's like the default leader. So he might luck out in that sense, but I find this concern trolling so grotesque. And by the way, somebody look into the politics of this guy who's talking on MSNBC, because my guess is he's just a right-winger. And so it should come as no surprise to anybody that a right-winger wants Biden to be right-wing. He cloaks it in like, strategically, this is what you should do. But no, really, deep down, he's like, I have these beliefs, so he should mirror what my beliefs are. Yeah, but nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. Nobody asked you, dude. How about that?